If I had one rule, or one piece of advice, one golden rule that you need to adopt if you're going to join anything that's new, and that is, what is the most important thing to do in any adventure or endeavor that you take? And the most important thing, I would say, can be summed up very, very simply. And it's very obvious and it's very clear, but it's very hard to do. And that is to make a contribution to whatever it is that you're a part of or a member of. And that can apply to anything. It can be a member of your student house where you're living. It can be a member of your course where you're taking part. It can be a member of the town or society where you live. But make a contribution, because that way you, not only do you validate your own existence, your reason for being there, but also you provide a contribution which only you can make, because you have a unique personality, a unique set of experiences which no one else can bring to the debate or discussion. And making a contribution is probably the most valuable thing that you can do in any circumstance that you find yourself. It's hard to do. And sometimes people think, well, I haven't got much to contribute because I don't really know very much and I'm just a starter here and it makes no difference. But, everybody, absolutely everybody has a contribution that they can make to the world around them. This is a larger picture than just the course I'm talking about here. You can be in, well, let me tell you a story about just an incident I saw when I was about a few months ago. I was in a shopping town of, this is about how whoever you are, you have a contribution to make. It doesn't matter, you might say, I've got nothing to give. Everyone's got something to give. And this is a story which illustrates that. I was in shopping on a Saturday in a place called Yeovil, which is not too far away from here. And at the end of the shopping day, it was a Saturday, and all the shops are closing down. Everything was kind of ending. It was about 5 o'clock, 5:30. And I was just making my way back to the car, and I sat down on a bench. And I noticed that the streets were now pretty well emptied and deserted. And I looked around, and there was, all the mess of a Saturday, busy Saturday, lots of litter all over the floor, people around. And then I saw this old lady. This old lady, I don't know who she was, don't know anything about her really, but she looked very poor, put it that way. Sometimes you might think she was a bit of a tramp, people who have no fixed abode or nothing in particular to mark her out in any way or in any shape. But she came along, and I don't know what prompted her, but or what prompted me to watch her, but she went along the street and she picked up some litter. And then she went on the street a bit more, and she picked up some more litter. And then she picked up some more litter. And she went down and she put all the litter into one of the litter bins that was around at the time. And then she went off and she picked up some more litter, and then some more and some more. And this is one of the poorest people I think you might have seen, because she wasn't dressed very well, and looked like some very old clothes. That probably was a bit of a tramp, and she had very little to offer. But what she did that Saturday evening, for whatever reason, I don't understand the reason about it, she went round and she tidied up that street, Main High Street. Didn't have to do that. But what impressed me was, here was a woman who made a contribution to the society or the street where she was living at the time. She made a positive contribution which was beneficial to everybody in some way or other, and yet she didn't have to. And she had nothing. She didn't, you might think, well, you have to be rich, you have to be knowledgeable, you have to be powerful, you have to have some influence. You can have virtually nothing and still make a positive contribution to the society and the people that you're with. If you're living in a student house, if just doing the washing up that no one else has done yet is making a contribution which anybody can do. if they have a desire to make a contribution to help other people in some way. And when you're in a meeting or in a discussion, just raising a question or adding your comment to it is enriching everybody in some respect. And really, if there's this might be a bit profound. I don't know if this is true or not. I'm going to leave you with the idea. But if there's a purpose in life at all, I'm talking in the very widest context here. If there's a purpose in life, then maybe the purpose is just to make a contribution. And every time you don't make a contribution, very often we don't because we're afraid to. Very often we don't think we've got any resources to do so. Very often we think that our contribution's poor and inadequate anyway. But every time we make a contribution, we're actually enhancing the world, we're enhancing the program that we're on, we're enhancing the course that we're a member of, and we're enhancing the experience of all the other people on that course. No matter how poor or inadequate we may feel the contribution is. I feel like someone giving a sermon here, but I hope you'll take it in the spirit in which I mean it. I'm trying to convey to you some of the things I've learned in my own life, as well as the wider aspects of the course. And I think that that's probably one of the most important lessons I've learned, that wherever I happen to be, try and make some kind of contribution to whatever is going on. You can sit out at the back, you can say nothing, can do nothing, but you're not enriched by that any more than the other people are. And those people who make the contribution end up the richest people of all, because they've added something not only to everybody else, but to their own personality. Maybe they've overcome some fear, or they've gained some courage, or maybe they've become a little bit more outspoken and a bit more of themselves.